right, Coach, we'll start with you. Just if you can just talk about the team's recent success over the last couple conference series and what you're seeing from your team out there.
We've been playing good softball the last 2 weeks. Part of it is we had a real competitive non-conference schedule that prepared us for this, and then mindsets are changing. We're finding out how to win. They're doing the little things that are necessary to stay in games, to compete. We still want to get ourselves to the point where we do a few more things where we get those wins, because we have a lot of close ball games that we don't finish off, and that's kind of where we're at right now. And if we can take a step forward in that direction, being halfway through close to the halfway point in the MAC, I think we can finish strong.
You mentioned those close games. You had a few of them in non-conference play that you weren't able to flip, but then in conference play you have been able to come out on the other side of those, and I know you want to continue to do it, but what do you attribute to the difference in that, and what's the difference when you are able to kind of flip those 1 or 2 run ball games into a win?
The difference is being able to compete in pressure. And I think that's where at the beginning of the year we were in those spots. We didn't have the experience, but we learned and we grew. And now we have the right people coming up at the right time, and we have solid pitching when we need it. And I would have to say it all comes down in this game to the pitcher. When the pitcher can get outs or limit your opponent, the hitters, you just have to have the right ones up at the right time. And we've been fortunate in the last couple of weeks in having that.
And speaking of pitching, you got a good one sitting right there to your left. Allie, I know you guys faced some tough competition early on. How were you kind of able to stay focused, and how did some of those early games prepare you for conference play where you are now?
Those early games allowed us to kind of make mistakes and learn from them, as Coach Ruechel just said. It was pretty difficult in the beginning, but you get to also learn from it by seeing it. Like we played some pretty elite teams, so learning from them as well. And using it now, I've learned a lot, even just to slow down the game and everything. So it's helped me, and we're coming out like really well. We're coming out on top.
And as a senior, somebody who's in a leadership role, what have you seen from some of these freshmen, Alexis, Olivia, Hannah, some of your freshman class who has really stepped up and contributed here, especially as of late?
I've seen huge, all of them are stepping up, like Hannah Bardine and Olivia Kincannon. They're doing really good behind the plate. They're both competing, but they're both just excelling. And then Alexis Matheny, she's doing really well. She's had she's filled big shoes. She's done really well. She's got the leadoff spot in the center field. And even Cassidy Aiken, she's doing really well too in right field and everything that she has to do.
Anna, you've been a big part of that offensive surge here yesterday and as well as some of the recent series here. Now, you were first team All-MAC last year and you made the All-Freshman team. Did you feel any pressure coming off of those accolades? And if so, how did you kind of not let that get to you and adjust into the season?
I did feel a little bit of pressure coming in, knowing that my goal is to do that again this year, or to do even better than I did last year. But every day we have to compete to be better than we were last year or yesterday or the next day, and that's just what helps me not feel that much pressure.
And you obviously you picked right up where you've left off. Your numbers are great, and the success is continuing, and really have turned things up a notch in conference play. Where's your confidence level right now, and what do you think is attributing to your success at the plate?
I just have to keep it within myself and not let the game play me, and just keep playing my game. And when I go up to the plate, it's just me and the pitcher. I don't let anything get to me. And I try not to freak out when I'm up to bat.
It's working. Coach, just talk a little bit about the lineup, really 1 through 9, and the progress that you've seen as the season has gone on, and touch on, again, the play of the freshmen, particularly Alexis right off in the lead spot.
1 through 9, we all have our ups and downs. We've had some good games, each and every one of them, and they had some struggles. But what I see the most is they're growing from it. They're getting better. When you look at these two right here, they're in pressure situations for us because we have to have both of them performing for us to be successful. So I think they handle that pressure real well. I remind them of the pressure at times, and that's what the game is about. It's easy to hit when you're up by 16 runs, but when the bases are loaded and it's a tie ball game, you have to have the right people coming up, and some games we do, some games we don't. With the younger kids, they're seeing some of these and how they're performing, and they're looking at it and they say, I want to be that person. I want to be in that spot. And they now are getting those chances and opportunities. And Lexi Matheny just recently stepped up yesterday, had a grand slam when we needed it. We're down by 3. She was hit a home run in the Central Michigan game. Olivia, Hannah are doing great defensively. Olivia stepped in late in the game yesterday, the close game, and picked somebody off. So they're seeing some of the upperclassmen do those things, and they're repeating it. And it's a good chemistry and a good blend up and down that lineup.
I want to ask all three of you guys. I know we saw on Twitter earlier in the week some of the pictures from your practice in the brand new field house. What does that field house mean to you guys to be able to get in there and practice in there, and how much of a game changer is that going to be for you guys going forward, particularly in an area like Buffalo where the weather could be a flip of a coin on any day?
I think it's huge. I think it's going to help us start our season in a more advanced position. We go down south in February, and we haven't really had a place to do long toss, to get the live reps. The field house is just going to give us, it's almost like having that full field. And on top of that, the recruiting, it's gonna help us tremendously, because now you have a great place where you can develop kids, and it's not a hardwood floor. It's difficult to go from a hardwood floor to dirt, and also from getting front toss to live pitching. So I think it's a game changer for us.
Oh, definitely. It creates more of a realistic atmosphere for us. Like with the hardwood floor, like sometimes I forget we play on dirt until we go down south. So it's good to even experience like turf or grass or anything along those lines, or even seeing the fly balls and everything.
No, hoping that's an occasion in there.
Oh man, it's great. Like being able to see the flight of the ball and not just a net that ends like 5 feet above your head. But also, like, as an outfielder, being able to, like, hit balls higher than the triple gym ceiling and being able to read balls like that, it's going to help a lot.
Coach, I'll get you out of here on one last question. As you mentioned, right about almost at the midway point of this the MAC schedule, what are just your thoughts on going forward and what you guys are going to need to do if you want to be at that MAC tournament at the end of May?
We're going to have to continue to compete. We got to be great every day when we step on the field. We can't be average. We have to be great. If we are great, we're going to be in a position where we can get into the MAC tournament. And when you're in a MAC tournament, anything can happen. Pressure's on everybody, so it's who handles the pressure the best usually advances. So we just got to come out there prepared, have a little ownership, and things will fall in place.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.